Alright guys, welcome in. We're in the green this morning. So I tried everything to try to figure out what was going on with the internet last night. And I still have no clue. But anyway, we're live this morning. Looks like we're streaming just fine. So we're just going to kind of do like a redo. Anyway, if you're new to this channel or just stumbling into this channel, you might want to bookmark and bookmark all the links in the description. That way, if we get took down like a lot of other YouTubers out here, you got another way to follow us. First article, we're going to jump into a few articles, and we're going to jump into Hurricane Lorenzo, the unnatural hurricane. And here we go. Toxic forever chemicals detected in the California drinking water. Now, these are toxic synthetic chemicals known as forever chemicals. For their extreme hardiness to resist degradation once they are released into the environment, and have been detected in 74 California water sources that deliver water to more than 7.5 million people, according to a new research. Now, these are extremely persistent, and once they entered the bodies or the soil in very low doses, they have been linked to health problems like cholesterol levels, low infant birth weight, weakened immune system, thyroid issues, and even some cancers. I wonder if Fukushima has anything to do with this. So anyway, California water systems exceeded 1 part per trillion, which the environmental work group deems unsafe. 70 ppt that the EPA considers the threshold for adverse health impacts. 40% of the water systems tested has samples that exceeded the 70 ppm limit, which leads to lifetime health advisories. In fact, some of them were several times the EPA limit, including a well that serves a Marine Corps base camp in Pendleton. They had 820 parts. So the problem is this stuff doesn't go away very easy here. So what do you think they'll do? They'll just raise the safe limit. So the new data shows that the pollution in California is much more widespread than we knew. And almost 1 in 5 Californians served by a utility with at least some of its drinking water supply is contaminated. A well-known example, in 2005, DuPont settled a case action lawsuit for $70,000, dumping PFAS used in Teflon cookware into the mid-Ohio River Valley in Virginia and Ohio. So this is going on in other states. So toxic water all over California, and they're probably not letting anybody know about it. And we did have 5 earthquakes in less than an hour here in Missouri. You know, they got this big shakeout exercise coming out this month, and they've been promoting this stuff for a long time. And we know they can create earthquakes with low frequencies, which everything that they're putting up, all the new technology is putting out frequencies, not to mention all the weather weapons. Now, we just reported on these smart lights and all these LEDs and 5G cameras and all this stuff all over Ohio, and how people are not able to sleep because of these lights. They put off these different kind of frequencies, you know, including like radiation frequencies. Well, here was a article that came out back in 2016 about how the doctors issued warnings about the LED street lights, but yet they still are just pumping these things out over and over. So the AMA's annual meeting in Chicago on June 14th comes in response to the rise of the new LED street lighting sweeping the country. The AMA committee issued guidelines on how communities can choose LED streetlights to minimize potential harmful human health and environmental effects. Now these LED lights are putting off certain frequencies that affect the body. So right here you got two problems with the LED lighting. The temperature, which means it contains far less blue and more yellow and red wavelengths. Before electric light, we burned wood and candles. This artificial light has a CT of about 18,000 K, quite yellow, red, and almost no blue. Now what we have is very different. The new white LED street lighting is rapidly being retrofitted in cities throughout the country. That has two problems. First is the discomfort and glare, but the blue light scatters more in the human eye than the longer wavelengths of yellow and red, and they can damage the retina. This thing is also affecting the melanoma or whatever it is. So it's making it hard to sleep and all that stuff, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here. But the thing is, they just keep pumping these things out. They don't care about your health. As long as they're making money, that's what they want. Hey, I want to take you over here. Oh, okay, yeah, here you go. All right, so a lot of YouTube channels are getting took down. Here's one of my favorite channels. This is Ron Johnson with Stranger Than Fiction News. Let me copy this link here. I have him in the description. Make sure you subscribe to him. He got his last channel got took down again. Now, I used to do a lot of videos with Ron, and also helped him on the Stranger Than Fiction News Facebook page that's been took down like 20 times. We can see he's only got 120 subscribers, where, you know, his videos have had millions of views, and they just keep taking him out, man. He's deadly on the New World Order. That's why they don't like him. But you can also check him out here at stfnreport.com, and he sells the EMF meters pretty cheap too. I haven't got one yet, but I'm going to. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to Ron. I'm going to get him on the show sometimes. He's just in a different time zone, so it's hard to get him on here. And he's been a big help to me over the years, so we want to try to help him out. Make sure you sub to him. 5 earthquakes hit in less than an hour, rattle southeast Missouri, experts say. So like I said earlier, they're setting up for something with the earthquakes. And, you know, the new Madrid zone is actually now over in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, where they've fracked the crap out of the earth, which has relieved a lot of the stress there in the new Madrid seismic zone. But it still gets a few small quakes, but nothing like it should be getting. So here's Hurricane Lorenzo is too strong for where it is. Let's deal with the climate change question. So this is coming out of Forbes. You know they're going to blame this on the climate change. They're not going to blame it on what it really is, which is the climate control. They fail to mention all the weather engineering projects going on worldwide, from the ground, from the sea, from the air. It's just ridiculous that they hide this information out. Now this, we're going to get into this hurricane much deeper here in a few minutes. This thing should not even have formed. This is another Michael, another Dorian, completely man-made, defying all odds of the conditions for a hurricane. But we'll get into that here in a minute. I'm trying to see where I'm at here. Oh yeah, I got this kind of in the wrong order here. We'll get into the hurricane here in a minute. Let me get through some of these articles real quick. 40 inches of snow in Montana. It's February, storm in September. If you want to know why you're getting more storm snow than you should be, well, all you got to do is go over here to the summary of the licensing and permitting for weather modification operations in Montana. So right here you can find out about how they've been modifying the weather since 1967. And it goes all the way up. You got your license. This is just like the Texas Driver's License Bureau. Every state is creating weather. They're all affecting the weather. Every one of them. Here's the Montana Weather Modification Regulations. You can find all about, all these links will be in the description. And when you go and you click on the links, they'll actually tell you what they're trying to do. Like right here, this is increase snowpack to the ski areas. Here's another one, augment snowpack. So they're all doing it, but yet they keep it hid from the public. So this is why you're getting tons of snow. We're watching it on the maps. We're seeing all the cloud seeding operations. Then you have all the ground-based tools that they use. And you can find out that all their licenses are all up to date. They renew them every year. In fact, you can come here to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and see in the late 1940s and 50s, many deemed a deliberate or inadvertent alteration of atmospheric conditions by human activity, also known as weather modification, as a promising science for the future. Currently, the most common form of weather modification is cloud seeding, which increases rain or snow, usually for the purpose of increasing the water supply. Weather modification can also have the goal of preventing damaging weather such as hail or hurricanes from occurring. How come they didn't stop Dorian? But here's a whole list, just tons and tons of lists of operations they done. Operation Snowbird. I mean, I haven't clicked any of these, but you augment snowpack. Man, I haven't had all my coffee yet, so. Precipitation augmentation back in 2004, 2005. Hail suppression, 2004. So these go on and on, even though they deny they're doing it. You don't hear about any of this stuff on the local news. And here's the Montana Secretary of State, Corey Stapleton. You can read, you can get in and dig into all this stuff and find, you know, that they're doing weather modification through the state water projects, the water pollution control, Yellowstone River. I mean, it's just all here. They just don't tell you about it. Here's another document, and here's the licensing for the Montana Department of Natural Resources. Call your representatives. Find out why your snow is so much. And we got more AI supports agile working methods. This is the takeover of the AI, the transhumanism. I'm not really going to get into this article. Links in the description. And here's another one. Report Soros gave nearly $25 million to the global climate strike activists. This guy is always funding. He's part of the dark side. And then we have this that just started yesterday. Facebook has begun hiding likes. The social media giant is testing hiding the number of likes, reactions, views, and posts that you get. See, they can't just leave stuff alone. Truthers are putting a cramp in the New World Order style, so they're just going to keep on blocking us. Now, this started off in Australia on the 27th. And, you know, what happened to our dislike button? They were supposed to give you a dislike button, and they never did do it. It might offend somebody. So, you know, they're just going to keep trying to silence us. And I looked, here's the spectrum outage map. You can see there's tons of outages right now over Missouri, heavy over Florida, parts of California, just all over the map. Now, some of these guys have been out for weeks. So you got Comcast is down, not just Spectrum. So tons of internet outages going on. And what they want to do, they want to they're trying to make all the internet suck, so you have to get the 5G and the newer technologies. I mean, they're going to force it on you. I mean, that's what they do. So let me see here. Let me get back into this article, and then we're going to jump into Lorenzo. Hurricane Lorenzo has become a record-breaking storm, and an odd one, too. While the storm poses no immediate threat to land, it could approach the Azores and eventually the British Islands next week. Hurricane Lorenzo rapidly strengthened into a scale-topping Category 5 hurricane on Saturday evening, the maximum sustained winds reaching 160 miles an hour. This breaks a record for both the easternmost and northernmost Category 5 ever recorded in the Atlantic. Of course, they're going to blame this on climate change, on the ocean temperatures, but we can go show you that the temperatures are actually much, much cooler than they were in previous years. It's not heating up. Now we'll check the tracks. I know they keep changing. I mean, some of the tracks are showing it going up towards Greenland and Iceland. So we'll check that here in a minute. And here is the projected rain map. All right, let's just get out of all these mainstream articles. I went over this the other day. This, you know, when we're talking about the next rad and the frequencies, this is what's inside the next rad. You always got buildings underneath the next rad. You usually got 3 buildings. You have a diesel power building. You have another backup building, and then you have this clystrons. Now these are I've talked about these before, but these things are radioactive. They put off radiation. You know, these are almost like a mini CERN, man. They're like you know, kind of like a hadron collider, but it's a like a tube. It shoots electrons through these holes. And I think I'm not going to get very deep into this. I'll do that later. All right, so let's go ahead and check Dorian. Or Lorenzo. First thing I want to do is take you over here to the worldview map. We're back here on the 22nd. And let me see where we are on the Earth. No, we're on the 22nd. So right in here is where this hurricane forms. Now you can see the dust. This is the Sahara dust layer. And we can also put the dust layer right on this map. If I can click the right one and see, it's just being inundated with Sahara dust, which should keep any hurricane from forming. We've been watching this thing just tear apart hurricane after hurricane, tropical storm after tropical storm. Now let me just take this up a day at a time. And right here's our little spin, trying to spin up. Here we are right here. So it, right off the get-go, it's being hit with dust. I mean, it's surrounded by Saharan dust, which would make blood rain, blood fog. See, nobody is really going to see this until it gets up to the Azores. But it's just packed with sand. This is like a sandnado, like a giant sandnado. See, the whole thing is completely wrapped with the Sahara dust. Like, this thing should not have formed at all. It should have been blew apart. But yet it's a perfect hurricane turning into a Category 5 right where it shouldn't be. And we'll check the ocean temperatures just to show that it's not super hot here. In fact, the ocean temperatures are cool, so it's getting heated from something else. So it's just completely wrapped with Sahara dust. So I'm just taking this up, trying to see where it's going to end up. And I can go ahead and put this on the winds. That way we can see it a little better. You know, when I checked this earlier, there was 50-foot waves. So we're just going to see how, yeah, this thing's going to hit that northern island. They're already probably getting rain right now from this thing. Wow, it does that super jump again. Like, it just jumps real fast. So I'm going to take this up hours at a time. Yeah, it could hit that northern part of the Azores. I mean, it's going to be pretty much a direct hit. It's not going right over the land, but it's close enough where all the storm surge is going to be coming in there. Now let's see where this baby heads up to. Yeah, this thing's headed right for Ireland and the UK. Let's see where it hits here. Let me back that up a little bit. Take it up a few hours at a time. We'll check all the other models too. That thing's just going right above Ireland. All the waves are going to be hitting. In fact, we could put it on the ocean waves. We're looking at 40-foot waves hitting Ireland. So heads up on that, man. If you're over in the Azores, let me put this on something we can see. Let's go ahead and take the tracks off here. Checking the water vapor. I'm zoomed in a little bit too much. Let me unzoom this a little. All right, let's just kind of check this out. Here's our water vapor. All right, I want to go ahead and check the microwaves on this thing. And let's go back to where it was pretty strong. In fact, let's go back right before it got strong. Look at that. Look at that eye wall, man. Just like Hurricane Michael, just like Dorian. Look, it just went in from nothing, pulsed a few times, and now it's an organized perfect circle in the center. So that was on the 28th. Let's go up here to the 29th. This looks exactly like Hurricane Michael. It looked like it was trying to do an eye wall replacement. Yeah, it's definitely getting pulsed. It kind of did a little jig-jag right there. It was taken on up to today. Definitely not as strong today as it was, so that's good. The rain's already hitting the Azores. Look at that, it's like a vortex. That's kind of a weird signature, how you're seeing every single band all the way into the circle. That's pretty wild right there. So it seems like the stream's running really good, at least this morning. All right, what I want to do is I want to put the Sahara dust on here. See, this thing is just being inundated with the Sahara dust layer. And how come it's not like sucking it in there? Like that, you can see the frequency lines of this thing being pulsed. I'm just kind of checking some of these different signatures here. Wow, why is that all freaked out? I want to look at the shear. So here in the red, this is pretty good shear. So it's going to run into some shear. This is what's probably going to push this thing more towards Ireland instead of up towards Greenland. Let me go ahead and look at, let's go ahead and jump over to tropical tidbits. All right, so here's Hurricane Lorenzo. Let's check out the tracks. Man, we got a lot of tracks. So here's the GFS tracks. See, the other day, the actual GFS model was showing this thing going up and around towards Greenland, but now they have them almost all are wanting to come in just north of Ireland, and then up in the North UK, you got one hit, a direct hit on Greenland. You know, this stuff is in super cold water. How can it be? In fact, let's look at the water temperatures. So let's put this on the ocean temperatures. So where is it at? How come it's not showing up in here? Hold on, let me put the winds. Let me go back a day. Alright, it's not going to show us the signature in the temperatures, but like when you look at this map, you know, it's not super hot out here. The only place that's really hot is in the Gulf of Mexico, down below Cuba. Pretty warm right where it formed. There's like one little hot spot right here where it formed. But we're looking at, you know, 80-degree temperatures. It stayed in the cooler water the whole time. It never hit the, you know, the 86-degree water at all. You see the anomalies. Actually, a lot of cool anomalies, but look, there's a heat anomaly right here by the Azores. Make sure we're on now with the winds. So right there, that's where it is right now. Let's check the ocean temperatures. We got 50-foot waves right now, so it's still producing 50-foot waves right now as we speak. Temperature 79 degrees. See, it shouldn't be some super strong hurricane with 79-degree water. This is another kind of wind weapon, man. Just another way they're using the technology to create storms. This is probably some kind of a test. What are other storms that we got? We got Tropical Storm Narda down here in the Bajas of California. Looks like it's just, some of them are showing it going right up through the center. Got one over here. Good, looks like it's gonna hit North Korea, South Korea. Thought we had another storm here in the States. I guess that's it. Let's go check the forecast models on this thing. Got a super strong storm coming in here in a couple days. Alright, where's the map I want? Wow, they like changed it. Where is it? It's not giving me everything I want. Here, we'll try this one. Alright, so here's Hurricane Lorenzo right here. I can't really zoom in no more. So let's just see where this thing is going to track it out. This one has it hitting right at the North Azure Islands, Azores. I mean, look at the winds. So even around the storm, you're going to have super high winds going up into Greenland. There's going to be pretty good winds coming in before the storm even gets there. So look at that. It just takes a hard right turn right into the UK. So the models have definitely changed since Sunday, and look how everything is super tight. Now this probably won't be a hurricane when it hits here, but it's going to be a wind machine. And then you got a secondary wind machine coming off the storms that are getting ready to form over the Midwest. I mean, look, this is like a giant cyclone. Look at the size of that thing. And the wind bars are really tight. So this is like just a mega rain machine right there. And it's definitely going to hit Greenland, but you're going to get another big wave of rain. So UK is probably going to get flooded big time. And then you got a third system coming right after that with more wind. So wow. I'm just kind of scrolling through that. Look, you got another hurricane forming in the exact same area that one did. Maybe this is the one we need to keep our eyes on. Maybe that was a prelude to this other one they're going to try to conjure up. All right, let's go ahead and go jump over to the worldview map. So here we are, the 22nd of this thing, and they got cloud seeding. You got dust everywhere. Just going to take this up a day at a time. You can even see the dust out ahead of the storm. So very odd. We're not going to be loaded for today. That this storm shouldn't even be out here. It shouldn't be this far to the east. Shouldn't be this far north. Definitely manipulation. Anyway, guys, I'm going to keep this broadcast short. Looks like the stream actually did really, really good. So hopefully tonight it'll work. I didn't see any kind of buffering at all. Or I may have to just do a different time on these shows. I'm trying everything I can to try to keep a decent stream going. Tons of aerosols way up in the north. Anyway, if anything goes on today, I'll hop on here. See, they're seeding this other storm down here in the Bajas. Looks like the ship tracks, they've let up on them. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this show. I'm glad this thing actually streamed, probably better than it streamed in a long time. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of, they're setting up today. Like I said, I just don't have a lot of time this morning, so, but I did want to try to get a show off. So I want to thank everybody for jumping in here, join us. Make sure you subscribe to Ron Johnson over there. The links are in the description and all that good stuff. Yeah, I may have to just get up super early every morning and pop off a video in the mornings if they're not going to let us stream at night. Hopefully that was just an anomaly last night. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to play a song called Rise. We're going to need to rise up soon. Much love out there. Share this stuff out. YouTube's pulling the funny business again. They've stopped and started deleting tons of subs again. The views have dropped in half. It's just same stuff. And don't forget, I do upload these over to Bright. Not all of them, but like the show we did, I think Friday or Saturday night, was a mega PDF drop. I uploaded that one over to Brighton, so it's in full HD over there. Anyway, guys, here we go. Let's play this exit song, then we'll talk to you hopefully tonight. Much love out there.